Felt like we were a bit stuck, really. We wanted to build the business, we had a vision for it, we just didn't really know how to do it.
Just briefly introduce yourself. So tell us about your business, the type of work you do, what trade you're in, and the size of your team.
We're Greenbridge Electrical. We took over our father's electrical business. He started it up in the 1980s. So about 5 years ago, I came on and sort of started running it. And then a couple of years ago, Carne came on as a shareholder. We do electrical work, mostly new homes, alterations, repairs and maintenance. We've got a team of 10. Carne is our ops manager. We've got an office manager, an office admin, and 6 guys on the tools. And I am the boss, or whatever you want to call it. The person that makes the decisions.
So you're slightly shorter but bigger boss.
That's the one.
Yeah,
yep.
There you go.
The smaller but the bigger.
But the bigger, that's right. All right, so tell us, Jim, what was life like before you joined the $1 Million Tradie program, and what were you actually looking to improve with your business?
It was absolutely hectic. We were understaffed and just had too much work to go around, really. We had absolutely no systems in place whatsoever. It was a real nightmare, really. We were neglecting family time and just sort of trying to hack our way through it. It wasn't easy.
Nah, not easy at all. We were both sort of, I was full-time on the tools, trying to do other stuff, and Luke was sort of part-time on the tools and trying to run everything else, which just wasn't working at all. It definitely wasn't easy.
Tough times. And you mentioned the impact it has on yourselves and family. So how did that make you feel, that situation?
Felt like we were a bit stuck, really. I think we wanted to build the business. We had a vision for it. We just didn't really know how to do it. And especially around systems and building systems. At the end of the day, we're just simple sparkies. We didn't really know what we were doing. And we'd sort of tried to piece things together, but didn't really have a clear idea of where we needed to go or how to do it.
Yeah, okay. Who can identify with some of this? Yeah, I think we all can, 100%. Okay, so what have been the biggest changes that you've made?
Biggest changes that we've made, I've got a bit of a list here because I was going to forget, but
they say prior planning prevents poor performance, which I like. Yeah, happy days.
We've made a few staff hires just as we joined Profitable Tradie. I think we've been in the system for about 8 months now. We took on our first admin. That was actually Carne's wife, and she did an amazing job in that role. And then just prior to Christmas, we decided to bring on another office staff who is now the admin. And Carne's wife's moved into like an office manager, and she's also doing our marketing, which we never really had before. We've upgraded our job management software, so we were with Tradie. We managed to make the jump to Simpro and implement that. We set targets for different types of work and have started back costing all of our work through Simpro, which is a massive sort of thing that we can look back on. We weren't doing any back costing before, so it's definitely interesting looking at the numbers and how we can tweak them. We've improved our culture. After the last boot camp, hearing that culture just wasn't beers and barbecues was probably a bit of an insight for us. And so we've started weekly meetings with the team, implemented the 20s, and we have regular training days and social events all booked in throughout the year. We've also done our core values and rules of the game. We set those up with the team and got them all involved with it, which was cool. What else? We got default diary. This has been massive for me and Carne. It's actually managed our time better and been able to put time in there for our family and our partners and that. So that's huge for us and huge for them as well. And most of all for myself was probably mindset, where I thought I didn't know what I was doing before. I realised I actually did, I just didn't know how to do it. And delegating, training and teaching other people has been massive because I used to like to do everything myself.
Yeah. There's a few of us who are like that for sure. So let's dig into the results then. So you've done a lot of things, which is amazing. So what have the results of those changes been for you, for the business, and for your family and life?
I think that we're still in the building stages of where we're heading. We've just started to sort of lay a really solid foundation that we can build off. Our profit is on the rise, and our turnover is up 20% on last year already, so that's awesome. GP's looking good, sitting around about the 40%, but we're trying to tweak that up as well. I've gained time back. I get to drop my kids off at school once a week, which is awesome. Something that our father could never do for us because he was always so busy. And also get to pick them up and go to their events and stuff as well. And that's just from hiring staff and sort of changing the roles that we do. And I feel like we're in more control and we have a good idea of where the business is going. Carne will touch on a bit of the team things that we've done as well.
Yeah. So as Luke said, we've brought in the core values and rules of the game, and just building that overall culture. I think the guys have really adapted to that and they've jumped on board. We sort of sat down and did a work through with them to actually create our core values, which was good because they all had their input, and we sort of just plucked the main ones from the list that we had. In terms of sort of the job organisation and stuff, it's a lot better too. Now I'm sort of gone into a ops manager role, so the guys are a little bit more relaxed because jobs are better organised, and client satisfaction's a lot bigger too because obviously the guys are there, they know what they're doing and they're just getting it done rather than sort of, products not being there or missing the mark.
I'll just jump in, but that to me is a huge thing. We have this challenge of, if we take people off the tools or out of the field and maybe put someone in management positions, it's going to cost us a whole lot of money. But what we don't realise is it's already costing us a whole lot of money because there's disorganisation, materials all over the show, and actually your margins often suffer through lack of organisation. I guess you've found something similar.
Yeah, and it's been really good, and work's a lot funner place to sort of be around too. We've brought in a lot of sort of the team building, social days as well, which the guys have been really enjoying. Sort of just getting to know them outside of just the work that they can do, helping to build that culture a lot more and create a space where they want to turn up and work and put in their best effort, so it's really good.
How do you guys feel about the fact that you've worked on that culture and the results you've had from that? Because that's pretty cool.
Oh, massive. Like, we sort of started off as just a small family business and obviously wanted to take it to the next level, but not lose sight of sort of where we started and to embrace what the other guys can bring to the team as well. Different things sort of resonate with different people, so it's sort of, I think what we've created or are in the process of creating is going to sort of hold on to those guys for the long term, which is what we want to do as well.
Yeah, and it's a big challenge when you have a family business and you want to stick to those family values, but you need other people who are not family to actually achieve what you want.
100%.
Yeah, huge.
And people are happy to come to work and they're actually psyched to get into it and be a part of it as well, which is
amazing.
Awesome. Yeah.
It's so good. Cool. So I'd love to dig into mindset. You talked a little bit about it, Luke. What have been the big mindset changes that you've had to make?
Mindset's sort of been really, really massive to change from probably being a business or a couple of guys who thought that we were just getting by and just doing the minimal, to actually feeling like we're offering an awesome service now and actually going through the steps with people and showing them how good we can be. Taking over a family business is sort of never really easy. It's not only the clients and your staff and that you're trying to sort of build the business for or make it successful. It's also your family and your wider family because it's their name that's out there as well. Yeah, massive pressure. But I think that we're hopefully doing them proud. Just mindset for myself, and I know Carne might touch on this in a bit, but just being hands off and actually trusting other people to do their jobs. Especially when you've brought them into the role, just giving them the tools to do that role and actually sort of setting them to it and just seeing how they can go and supporting them in the background rather than jumping in and just taking over all the time.
That's a great shift. I love that.
Yeah, 100%. I think we were both sort of at the mindset of, oh, we'll just do it. They've asked for us to help them, so we'll just go and do it. Where that didn't really help them in the long haul, sort of helped then and there, but by showing them how to do it and then leaving them to it, sort of let them figure out that they could do it themselves, and then the next time if they came across the same situation, they weren't giving us those calls to say, oh, I don't know what to do, or so I mean, definitely that mindset of sort of teaching and then just letting them go rather than getting there and, you know, doing it for them, definitely has helped a lot. And then, I suppose it's changed their mindset too, given them a lot more confidence that we do actually trust them and believe that they can do it. And so, in turn, they sort of believed in themselves a lot more, which was awesome. Huge.
Amazing. This is cool, guys. I really appreciate your share. It's super good. So what we have now is an opportunity. If you have any questions, just to put you guys on the spot, if there's any questions for Luke or Carne, I'd love to hear them. So if you are an Oni, just write question in the chat and the team will unmute you. If you're an Innie, then let's just jump up to the microphone and we'll field the questions. Mitchell.
Yeah, hey guys, massive achievement, so good work. Luke, I just had a question for you. What does your role look like now that you have Carne doing the operations management side of things, like your day-to-day?
Yep, so my day-to-day sort of looks pretty much like I do all of the, still all of the bigger quotes, like project quotes and stuff like that. Also client, like our larger clients, just manage those sort of relationships and stuff like that. Also do the business management side of stuff, and I do oversee sort of the whole umbrella of the operation as well. So yeah, I'm the person that helps everybody else.
Nice.
Hey boys, congratulations. I run an electrical business as well, and 10 guys is where I'm trying to get to, so it's awesome to see people that have on their way there or already done it. My question for you is, like, what sort of social events are you guys doing to, you know, to build that team culture?
So even just simple things like dinners. I think we've got one coming up where we're just going to a driving range, local driving range, just sort of get the boys out there. What else? We're sort of even a little bit more of a just a celebration really with birthdays now. We used to sort of just have a few beers and buy them a bottle of booze or something like that, where now we actually get them a cake and we sit down, we sing happy birthday, and we sort of make something of it, you know. And we've got two lovely ladies in the office who sort of do the behind the scenes to try and organise as much as they can and sort of meet everyone's needs. But we're sort of only just started after the last boot camp doing a lot more of those social events and stuff. So yeah, hopefully we've got some other good ones coming up.
Yeah, good question. So let's hear from a couple of the Onis, Cam.
All right, let's get Michelle on the spotlight. Michelle, what's your question?
Hi guys, I just actually had a question about Pro and the implementation. Just wondering how long that took, and during the transition period, were you still using the other software, and for how long?
Yep, so yeah, it took a while. We started in November and we just made the call to transfer all of our ongoing jobs into Simpro. So we just moved them over, and all of the invoices that we had sent out of the old system obviously just stayed in there. We kept just one user going on Tradie. We're just going to keep that going for like a year. And then we sort of just made the call to do a clear cut and just decide right from the 1st of November we're using Simpro. It was a bit of a hack around for a couple of months. I think we've like really found our feet with it now, and we're just now sort of boosting it up and doing a lot of the automations and behind it as well. So yeah, it takes a little bit of time.
It's an investment.
Yeah. We've already started seeing the benefits from it. Yeah, just the back costing itself is massive. So
Yeah, I think it is definitely a challenge, and it's like taking a long-term view of your business rather than thinking about the pain for 6 months. It's like, what am I building for 10 years or 5 to 10 years? But it's definitely a challenge.
During your process, and especially since starting with PT, what do you reckon the biggest challenges have been for you? Like just implementing things or drawbacks or anything like that?
Probably the biggest one's been trying to get the rest of the team sold on the things that we're doing and actually explaining to them why we're doing it and the benefits that it's going to bring. We had a sort of a training meeting the other day in and around Simpro, and that was about 4 hours. And at the end of it, the guys go, "Oh, well, you're just trying to make our job harder." Where it took probably a 15-20 minute conversation with them to actually make them realise the benefits in and around it and why we're trying to do all of this stuff. So yeah, probably just trying to get everybody on board with everything that we're trying to do is probably the hardest thing.
And what have you found useful to do that?
I think building that culture as well at the same time as we're trying to change all of these things gives us a lot of different forums that we can sort of chat to them about it separately. Especially with the 20s and that, we can sort of get them off by themselves and have a one-on-one chat and actually be like, well, this is why we're doing it. What problems do you have? How can we solve them? What more training can we give you?
Great question, Reece. Appreciate that, man. Super good question. Bryce.
So I run a business with my wife, Tatiana, down there, so it might be a personal question, but I'm interested to know how your guys' relationship with each other's been after joining the program and working together as a closer unit, is it?
Yeah, I mean, Luke's sort of been within the business now for, I think, what did you say the other day, 20 years? And I'm coming up 10, so we've worked together for the last 10 years, as well as Dad was a part of the business as well. And we've sort of always just been able to, business is business and home's home sort of thing. And like any business, you sort of probably get a little bit pissed off with each other every now and then. But it's sort of just realising that you're all in it for the good of it. And yeah, my wife came on, I think, around the same time that we joined up to PT, and same sort of thing really. And I think it's just a lot of people sort of say, "Oh, how do you do it?" You know, and it's like, well, we just respect each other, I suppose, and realise that the end goal's sort of the same. So if we can, it's easier for us to work together, and rather than trying to work separately, you know, at least there's two heads sort of trying to do the same thing. So yeah,
That's cool.
I really enjoy it.
Awesome. Oh, well done, guys.
Good question. Thank you. Yeah.
There's one more, sorry, it kind of screams importance. Reece actually asked a great question before, but he had a follow-up, and he asked, is there any chance that some of the success comes from the fact that Carne gives off huge Keanu Reeves vibes? I'd love to hear an answer on
I'll
that.
throw that over to the lads. Any comments?
I've definitely had that comment a few times, so it could be could be a winner.
I've heard he's the nicest guy in the world. Oh, that's good. Happy days. All right, well done, lads. Let's show them some love. 3, 2, 1. All right, good work.